All right, this week we are looking at the elements of photography. So there's going to be a series of things that you're going to watch a video on and read about, such as leading lines and how to incorporate those into your photography. So if we put all these little elements into our pictures, it makes our pictures that much more interesting and visual appealing in the sense when you're looking at it, there's a cohesiveness to the image. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this week. And you're going to be taking a picture of each of those elements and putting them into your own little elements photography dictionary. So if you saw this word, you could look back at the image and see how to incorporate it. For this, we talked about it before, this one is going to need your originality proof character where when you go out, you're gonna capture an image of something that you're like, yep, this is my leading line. Could be a hallway where you are nicely centered in the middle and you're showing leading lines directing the viewer's eye towards something. You're gonna take a nice big picture of that. Then, just a quick one, hold your character up or whatever your originality proof is and go snap, just snap a picture of it in it. You don't have to have it positioned as long as it's like, you know, it could be like upside down, whatever. As long as it's in the image, you include that as well. So it's a nice picture of the hallway and then a picture just quickly of the same hallway with your character in it, but it doesn't have to be like perfectly centered or anything like that. And try to be creative with this because I always like to see what people use as their originality proof. Try to make it, and it, you know, it's not necessarily something that it has to be consistent every week, but it is that much better if it is, because then you always will have that same item. Could be something on a keychain, just something that you usually will have, a lanyard or something. Maybe if you have like a lanyard with a set of keys or something, that could literally be a key, something that you usually have on you for that originality proof, so that I know you are capturing those images. Okay, so that's gonna be this week. But let's even talk about last week. I got a lot of emails of people that were concerned that they didn't have Photoshop or access to Photoshop. Once again, for that activity, you know, Photoshop was an option, gave you that option to show it, but it was an activity on creativity. So however you wanted to complete it, that was perfectly fine and acceptable. Also, if you're a person who did try Photoshop for the first time and you found it a little challenging, congratulations on trying something new. If you thought it was a little bit challenging, it should be challenging the first time you try a new software program, and it gets that much easier and easier. We do have a number of different boards throughout all of Ontario in this class, but if you are an HWDSB, so Hamilton Wentworth student, if you are on your laptop, and you go to Software Center, right? So if you were on your little start menu and you typed in Software Center, it would come up, and you type in Photoshop, you should be able to download Photoshop from the software catalog and then have it on your computer. Unfortunately for the other boards, I'm not sure if the other boards, what form of technology they offer you. In Hamilton, we were doing iPads for everybody, but just this year we shifted to computers. So kind of how you access, we no longer have like an app store kind of thing that we can use. It's now the Software Center where we can. But with whatever board you are from, possibly check wherever you download your software from, whatever your board calls that. See if Photoshop is something that your board just has access for you to download that. It may or may not. And if it doesn't, somewhere in your school you probably have a digital media lab which you could use Photoshop. And I know I've said, you know, Photoshop a lot, but if you don't have access to it at all, that won't impact how you do in this course. We may have to find an alternative method, like putting pictures into a Word file and then, you know, handing them in that way, but it won't impact your ability to complete the course, okay? So last week you had a discussion post that you had to put into the discussion section where you talked about someone that you find inspiration and someone that you look to when you want to be creative, and then you submitted also your creative process head into the Dropbox. So now we are the Tuesday now, because it was a long weekend, the Tuesday after the Friday that it was due, this is when I'm gonna start to mark them, so you will get all your marks for those things this week, right? Because as we talked about originally, I'm gonna assign stuff on the Monday or the Tuesday, based on if it was a long weekend. So you will get new material today. This should be done by Friday. I will mark it then the following week to kind of give you that weekend as well as a buffer to kind of submit stuff. Because I know, you know, things kind of, Friday kind of comes around kind of quick that you're like, ooh, I'll use the weekend to submit it. And if you're a person in that case, don't worry, because then I'll mark it when I show up to school on the Monday or the Tuesday based on whatever day we're back in school. Okay, so you will be getting your marks for that today and tomorrow for the previous week's work. Okay, so once again for the elements, take your time with this because this is really, these 2 weeks, so this week and next week are like the foundation of what you should be looking for when you are capturing an image and how to make that image, you know, not have visual clutter that distracts, like someone's eye looking up here or someone's eye looking over here. We want the person's eye to travel around the image the way you want them to travel around the image, right? A lot of people think of photography like you're just snapping a picture, but really you're creating a piece of artwork that you want someone to view and their eye to travel. Same as if you were drawing something or painting something, you know, that you put certain elements into that image. Are there times when you're just taking a quick snapshot and you're just like, I just want the memory of it and snap? Absolutely. But a lot of times when you're, say you're on vacation and you're somewhere and you want to actually capture like a solid, clean memory of something, you're trying to limit the amount of visual clutter in it and you want to direct the viewer's eye. So that's what this week is thinking, you know, in terms of even color, how does color impact it? How does contrast impact it? Leading lines, all these different things is what we're going to shape of, you know, the form of, you know, this black TV here, which has nothing on it. That's a shape within this image and it impacts the way a viewer's eye will travel. Okay, so that's what this week is. There will be a reading to go through. There will be, which is the Minds On. There will be an action, which will have a series of videos. And then the consolidation will be you making your own elements dictionary and then submitting that. All right, I told you this would be a shorter one. This one was only 8 minutes long. That's gonna be it for me, and I'll see you guys next Monday. We got a short week, so you kind of got to get like maybe one section done a day. Read it today, videos tomorrow, and then Thursday, Friday, you're actually capturing the image. All right, later guys. See you next Monday on here.